Alright, day 15 of being a camp host, and we are going out for an adventure. So our adventure today will have us end up in West Yellowstone, which is only about 62 miles away from where we are, but the drive time I think is an hour and a half, and we're going to take our time getting there because I'm hoping we're going to have a couple of little hikes and, you know, some other stuff to do along the way, and then we're going to get groceries.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
So we do recycle here, and this is the ranger station over here to my right. Bye guys. The day use lot has been getting an awful lot of use the last couple of days. When I've walked down like 9:30 in the morning, there have been, you know, 8 or 10 cars here.
Turn right.
And the cabinet latch that I didn't fix, I really should have fixed.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need
My
for
sunglasses are on the ledge over my door.
Journey calls, let's roll.
We're only going about a mile, so we're going to just suffer through this. So this is actually not the direction that we're intending to go in, but I want to go down to the Lewis Falls and see if perhaps we can park here this time and get a look at it, because we have not been able to do that. Today is Friday, September the 26th. It is 8:53 a.m. and the current temperature is 48 degrees. Oh, and I didn't put my iPad away either. Duh. I did not really do a good job of getting ready to go. So I got a couple of things I need to take care of. Hopefully there's parking down here. Otherwise I might be pulling back into the day use area to take care of that stuff. We shall see. We're just a half a mile away. And as I've said in previous vlog entries that I've done real time, I'm quite enjoying my time as a camp host here, but I don't think I would want to be here long term for me, just because of the my issues with SAD.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Well, this construction is new. It wasn't here when I came north 15 days ago. But look at this, nobody is here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. There you have it, Lewis Falls. That's pretty beautiful, huh? We're standing near the southernmost rim of the Yellowstone caldera. This large volcanic crater, which measures approximately 30 by 45 miles and stretches over a third of the park, was created by eruptions occurring more than 631,000 years ago, when the roof of the magma chamber collapsed to create a 1,000-foot deep depression. Erosion and subsequent magma eruptions eventually filled that in. As a result, the caldera can be difficult to recognize, but some clues can still be seen in the surrounding area. Lewis Falls provides a dramatic view of past volcanic activity as it cascades off the rim of the caldera. The water carves its way through the Pitchstone Plateau, a rhyolite lava flow that occurred in Yellowstone about 70,000 years ago. The Lewis River continues flowing south from here into the wild and scenic Snake River, which would be that way, continuing to some of the most pristine waters in the nation, contributing to. Among the exceptional values that make the wild and scenic Snake River special are scenery, recreation, geology, wildlife, fisheries, cultural resources, vegetation, botany, and ecology, all of which are present here. So, part of what I have found fascinating about this, we're going to walk down this paved pathway here a little bit. I'm camp hosting at the Lewis Lake Campground, and there's no direct path that I have been able to locate that would allow me to hike from the Lewis Lake campground to the falls. So at Lewis Lake, at the lake itself, I have tried working my way along the shoreline and up and down into and out of the woods. Haven't made tremendous progress yet, because the last time I was making good progress, I saw an enormous pile of scat, which reminded me, it was not bear scat, but it reminded me that I am absolutely in bear country, and I didn't want to be in a position where I was likely going to be putting myself in harm's way. So I turned around. Doesn't look like this little pathway goes very far. Doesn't look like you get a very good view from that parking lot over there either. Come. Well, there is kind of a trail up here. Look at the beautiful river. Beautiful. I gotta spin around. Here, I want to give you a 360 view. No, really, I want to get Kit unwound from around me. And would you like to see Kit this morning? There he is. Oops. Don't need to see him peeing on the rock, I guess. Very, very pretty. So I'm glad I got to stop this time. Look at all the traffic coming up now. And when I pulled into this parking lot, I'm the only one in there at the moment, but I don't really expect that to last terribly long. Just beautiful. So I imagine if I could figure out how to get there from the campground, I would come out upstream of the falls over there. Let's see if I can do this gracefully without tripping and falling. Maybe. Hey, Kit. Let's go this way. Yeah, maybe not. That looks kind of slippery, and I think holding a camera and a leash and trying not to fall is not my best combination of choices. All right, one more look at Lewis Falls, and we'll see what's next. We're going to go past the turn here for Lewis Lake one more time. Coming up right up here on our left, just up here on our left. And of course, Lewis Lake itself is absolutely beautiful. And it flows into Shoshone Lake, which is a much larger lake. So, I look at Lewis Lake as we're driving by. I know you guys can't see it, but it's a pretty sizable lake. And Shoshone is much bigger. But the only way to access Shoshone Lake is either by boat or by hiking. Beautiful rich shrubbery down there. And of course, I realize I need to do a better job of identifying this stuff for you guys before we're on top of it, because you don't really get to see the thing that I'm talking about then. We're approaching Grant Village. I think that the visitor center is still open there, but the gas station and the campground and the general store are all closed. And so the next time I need supplies, I'm probably going to have to go to Fishing Bridge. Well, I don't think I'm going to need supplies again necessarily, but I probably will need propane one more time. And I'll probably go to Fishing Bridge to get it, even though it's more expensive there, but it's a shorter drive. I don't know, I'll have to do the math and calculate that and see what makes the most sense, both economically and in terms of what I feel like doing. I would like to see the Lamar Valley. I have not been through there yet. So I might do that on my next set of days off. it's funny, I will have been in Yellowstone for about 5 weeks before I leave, but I still will not have explored all of Yellowstone thoroughly. But I guess in reality, it would be the equivalent of spending probably a week, let's say, with 4 days of exploration and 3 days of hanging out. Since my work schedule has been 4 days of working followed by 4 days of not working. And this is going to be the turnoff for West Thumb coming up here, which does remain open, I believe. I went to West Thumb the last time I was off, so we're 17 miles from Old Faithful. Oh, so the trailhead that I want is past Old Faithful. I might just stop in at Old Faithful and make breakfast, maybe. Or maybe I'll just go on to the trailhead. I don't know. I got 17 to 22 miles to decide, or something like that. Where are we, Kit? It's called Kepler Cascades, and there's a little boardwalk up here. But I thought I'd walk down here first and see what I can see without being on the elevated boardwalk. For some reason, I do better in my fear of heights when I'm on solid ground than when I'm standing on a platform, although I don't know that I'm going to be able to get close enough to see this without getting on the platform. Yeah, I don't think so. It drops off right there. We can get a glimpse of the river way down there. Very, very pretty. And we're just kind of wandering around in the woods here. Parking lot's up there. We'll head back up that way. Kit is actually, I think, a very good hiker for a dog of his size. And he loves to jump over things. So that's always pretty cool. All right, that's where we parked. I'm pretty hungry. I'm tempted to make breakfast, but I think I want to get to the Fairy Tale Falls trailhead first, in the hopes that I'll be able to park there. And then I'll make breakfast before we do the hike. How's that smelling? Is that a good sniff? Come on, Kit. All right, so we're going to try the boardwalk. Which looks like it has been recently rebuilt. So that makes me feel better. Kit, come here. Oof. Okay, what I know is that I'm not very far above the ground here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get near the edge, though. Alright, that's pretty cool. And of course we're looking directly into the sun, so not sure how good a view you're getting. We're getting close to the Old Faithful entrance. But I'm going to go ahead up to Fairy Tale Falls trailhead. Hope I can park there. I've been pretty lucky today so far. We've got 6 miles to get there. And then I'm going to make breakfast before we do the hike. And if I'm able to park and I'm able to do the hike, the payoff will be the Grand Prismatic pool overlook. We shall see. Nice to just be able to get out and explore without really any concern about how long I spend at one place versus another. Chances are pretty good I'll be finished with everything I want to do by 1:30 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. I would kind of like to go out for dinner tonight. We'll see how that goes. Must be coming up to Old Faithful with the rumble strips and 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. And as I understand it, the western side of the park is known for its geothermal features, and the eastern side is known for wildlife. So I think on my next days off, it's worth doing a drive up to the Lamar Valley. That's what I'm thinking. You can definitely see, oh yeah, there's steam rising over there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I certainly can. There's plenty of steam rising over there, actually. Here, let's try again. You see it? Right up there. Colorful runoff down the roadway. Biscuit Basin, which is closed, and apparently has been for a year or two, I think. They had a big eruption and part of the boardwalk was taken out. And I guess the seismologists and geologists are monitoring it to for unusual activity before they even attempt to rebuild it. Because if it's going to erupt again, if they can predict that it's going to erupt again in relatively short order, it doesn't make much sense to rebuild it. I think that's my trailhead, maybe.
Turn left, then turn right.
We may still not be able to see Fairy Tale Falls. I think the next thing I want to see, which is the paint pots, may be part of a road that does not allow RVs. So we'll see. We did not get to see Fairy Tale Falls. Oh well.
Head northeast on US 191 North, US 20 West.
But we're only 25 miles from the next visitor center. And we might get to see something else along the way. We'll see. Looks like there's some people fishing in the river. And the colors are certainly pretty. There's a bunch of people walking over there. And a bunch of people filling up the pullout here. That might be the paint pots, maybe? I'm probably not going to be able to find a place to park. But perhaps I'll be able to tomorrow morning. There's a pretty good sized parking lot, but it looks pretty full. Oh, that's the Midway Geyser Basin and the Grand Prismatic Spring. Let's just see. There are a lot of people leaving. It's possible we could get lucky, right? It's possible. Well, maybe not. We got a long line of cars here, not parking. Not only do I have this very long line of vehicles ahead of me, there's a car and then a tour bus behind me. I imagine the tour bus is just going to stop in the middle of the road and let their people off. That's going to be my guess. I seriously doubt that I'm going to be able to park here. But we can see some geothermal activity straight up ahead. See the steam rising? So that's pretty cool. I almost drove right by it thinking, you know, there's no possible way. And there's probably no possible way, but this is kind of one of the lessons that I've learned, is that, you know, going through the effort, being willing to put up with the hassle of the parking, you know, although not optimum, what if there is a spot for me? What if I can park? I think it more likely that if I get here early enough tomorrow morning, I might be able to park. And of course, somebody is going to just sit here waiting for a parking place. Is that the deal? Yeah, I don't see a turn signal on. Still sitting back there. And the long space sign said buses only. I don't think it said buses and RVs. So, well, although there is an RV parked there, probably not legally. I can't back up, dude. Okay. Well, that was fun, huh?
Head northeast toward US 191 North, US 20 West.
Yeah, it could have been a miracle, but it wasn't. Alas. Those must be lodgepole pines, I'm guessing. And I had a brief opportunity to get out and missed it. Okay, here we go now. Alright, so we got 24 miles to the visitor center. We're basically out of the park again. But I need to get my batteries charged back up. Firehole Lake Drive, I can't go down there. Yeah, no buses, no RVs, no trailers. Lower Geyser Basin. I don't think there's any place for me to park to be able to see from here. Alright, we're going to try this one. It says Fountain Paint Pot Nature Trail. RVs keep right. Does that mean we might be able to park? That would be nice. GoPro. Hey, Kit, knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. Okay, we got a tour bus. Is this a parking place? Maybe yes, maybe no. Nope, that says tour buses only. And yet we have plenty of other people that have parked in those spaces. So maybe there's another lot down here, or just an exit. Might just be an exit. Yep. Alright, so no paint pots either. Hope you're enjoying all the sights you don't get to see in Yellowstone when you're with me. Well, this is the turnoff for Firehole Canyon Drive. And again, buses, RVs, and trailers are prohibited. So we won't be seeing that either. We should be getting pretty close to Madison now, I think. Madison Junction. Yeah, so we're gonna hop into Madison and make some breakfast.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
Let's see what we can see here. Quiet, please. Madison picnic area, visitor information, restrooms. Big picnic area. Check this out. The Yellowstone National Park Prius. You can see silhouettes of the elk and this pretty guy here. Maybe a beaver dam, I don't know. Very cool. Let's see if it's got something different on the other side. Yep. Bears. And is that a person down there? Cool. That's the first one I've seen like that. Everybody else that was parked here when I came in has moved on. We've been here, I think, for about an hour and a half or so. And I'm feeling pretty complete. We had breakfast, we went for a walk, looked at the river. Yeah, it's all good. Let's move on. We got here, I think, about 10:30 or so, and it is now 12:20. So we made breakfast, went for a walk. Stopped in at the ranger station, looked around, did all that stuff. And now our next stop is going to be West Yellowstone Visitor Center, which is 14 miles away. Alright, so we are turning toward West Yellowstone. So now this is new territory, pretty sure. And apparently the Madison campground is open even later than we are. I think they stay open until, I think she said the 18th of October. So 14 miles to West Yellowstone. Here we go. Look, it's a whole bunch more tall trees. Plenty of them to see here in Yellowstone, huh? Oh, but I did want to mention this about Madison. That Madison stop off at the information area, and there's the river runs down beside it. It was absolutely beautiful. And I would venture to say it is not one of the more popular spots to stop in the park, based on the number of people that weren't crowding that parking lot. But I was very grateful to be able to park there, make my breakfast peacefully, go for a nice walk down along the river with Kit. And so I really appreciate that. And sometimes the moments that you get at the spots that are not the ones that everybody wants to go see may be even better than the most popular spots. So don't pass those up. This is the river that we were walking along further back. We didn't come this far down. A lot of people were fly fishing as we were walking. Very beautiful. And I guess let's give you some update numbers on my solar situation. So when I left Lewis Lake this morning, my batteries were down to 59%, my big battery bank. I was at 64% when I got up this morning. But a forest cow, huh? I guess I'll have to ask about those at the ranger station. I did see some cow flop up on top of the plateau we walked up to though, so I guess there's some free-range cows out here. Anyway, I was at 64% when I got up this morning, but as soon as I turn my inverter on, the first thing that happens is the Victron charger for the 100 amp hour SOK lithium battery kicks in to recharge that one, which has been powering stuff overnight. And so that took me from 64% down to 59%. Look at that big rock up ahead of us. Cliff face, I guess I'd call that. Oh, and I see some fall color over there to the left up against that cliff face. I'm not sure we got a glimpse for you or not. So I was down to 59% by the time I left this morning. And because I'd been driving in the trees, I hadn't really picked up much of anything. There is a little yellow up here on the hillside. Can you see it, maybe? It's disappearing from view again. So I was at 59% when I got to Madison, and I turned on the generator, and I ran the generator for 45 minutes while I was making breakfast and eating and doing dishes, all the stuff. And so in 45 minutes, the generator charged me from 59% to 74%. And then, in the 45 minutes that we were out walking around, solar charged me about 1.5%. So with 25% left to go, that would take roughly 12 hours to recharge via solar. So I'm going to be running the generator some more when I get stopped today. And I'm fine with that. I was expecting that's what I was going to have to do. And on the other hand, if it only takes, so at that rate, it means it'll probably take another hour and a half to 2 hours-ish, probably about 2 hours to finish charging it. And so let's say, let's say 3 hours total to get me from 59% to 100%. solar help thrown in. But it's important to me that when I go back tomorrow, my batteries are fully charged. So that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, I just saw some yellow up on the hillside off in the distance. Let's see if we're going to come around the corner and get it in view for you. Nope. Jeez Louise. Sorry guys. I was really hopeful that I was going to see a lot of fall colors from being here this late, but when most of the trees are evergreen, you don't see a lot of fall colors. Just saying. A couple people in the river out there. Can you see them? Oh, there's some yellow. Can you see all that yellow up against the far hillside? Maybe the road curves in the right direction and we'll get a good view of it. And so I would say, oh, and I guess the bark being rubbed off must be from the elk rutting, as it were. Cool. Beautiful views. Hope you're enjoying them. All right, look straight ahead. Can you see the yellow now? I hope. It's almost in the middle of the frame. Very pretty. Not a whole lot of variation in color. It's mostly, you know, gold and yellow. Not seeing a lot of red or anything. That's okay. And I really hope that showed up this time. How about coming up through here maybe? Yeah, this should be a good view. We should be getting another view right about now, maybe? Okay, well, that's all I can do about that. We are entering Montana. Woohoo! Welcome to Montana. We still have 2 miles to go to the Yellowstone, West Yellowstone Visitor Center. I guess the West Yellowstone Visitor Center is outside of the gate. Yellowstone. There's the sign over there. We'll see you tomorrow. There's all the people lined up to get the picture taken in front of the sign. Yeah, I can't be that person. I just can't do it. And I guess already this is the town of West Yellowstone. So we'll be seeing what it has to offer. Entering West Yellowstone. The West Yellowstone Visitor Center was not terribly impressive. I did get my passport stamped. They share it with the Chamber of Commerce. So I also got some information about the walking tours and that kind of stuff.
Entering right onto South Canyon Street.
And the first thing we're going to do is go check out the grocery stores. we might do the walking tour here. Or we might not, we'll see. So these are all the original old downtown buildings. And the restaurants are apparently
Then turn left.
very much still the original old downtown style. So it's cool looking. Okay. Yeah, Google wanted to take me through the back alleys. That didn't make good sense, so let's try this way.
Turn right. Then your destination will be on the left.
Okay, Kit. Okay, Kit. Yeah, looks like I can park back here. Let's do it this way. Okay, well, we did pretty well with vegetables at whatever that market was called. So now we're going to go try the next one. Oh, I really could have walked here from over there. Bumpity, bumpity, bouncity. Can I get out here? Yes. Can Google figure out where I am? Okay.
Head west on Alley 8 toward North Canyon Street. Then turn right onto North Canyon Street. Turn right onto North Canyon Street. Then turn left onto Madison Avenue. To the left, turn left onto Madison Avenue. Then your destination will be on the right.
Alright, let's see how this one goes, Kit. Maybe not. Well, it says supermarket. Am I going to be able to park there, though, is the question.
Your destination is on the right.
Stop. Stop yelling.
Head west on Madison Avenue toward the Raven Street.
Let's see if I go around this side. Can I park over here? Maybe?
In 600 feet, turn right onto Electric Street.
Hope I don't have a stop sign. No, I don't.
Head north onto Raven Street toward Alley B.
Well, the second grocery store was a complete bust. They had nothing but plain old white eggs, not even cage-free. And their prices were higher, I think, than the first one.
Left onto Firehole Avenue. Then turn right onto
So we're going to try the fine grocers. See what they have to offer. And we might end up having to go back to the first place. Oh, I think that's my Phillips 66 down there too. Cool. Oops, let's wait for the traffic. Take a look when we turn. They've got planters protected by pylons. Not quite sure why they put planters in the middle of the street, but hey.
on Alley C toward the Raven Street. In 400 feet, turn right onto the Raven Street.
Okay, we're gonna park here.
In Raven Street. Then turn right.
Fancy Provisions place was the most difficult to find a park, and their stuff was crazy expensive and not actually, you know, like grocery store food.
Head east on Alley C toward the Raven Street.
So we're gonna go back to the first market. eggs, maybe some breakfast meat.
Turn right onto North Canyon Street, then turn left onto Madison Avenue.
Slippery Otter Pub and Eatery. Interesting. Now all we gotta do is figure out how to get out of here. And we're gonna head out and look at this parking lot I picked out and hope it's okay.
Continue on Madison Avenue, 3/4 of a mile.
So I got 2.5 dozen eggs and 12 sausages for $32. 12 good sized sausages. But they're, I think it's Dietz and Watson, you know, no antibiotics, no hormones. They're not organic, but they're as close as I'm going to get to organic here, I think. Bike path to the right there. All right, so we got stay on designated routes. Okie dokie. Okay, Kit. It's okay. Alright, so is this closed? Dead end road 1 mile ahead. I don't understand the fencing. Alright, well, let's go take a look. Dead end road 1 mile ahead, but doesn't look like we can get through this barricade. Alright, well that's not going to work. Let me turn around and figure something else out. Alright. I could probably park right there. But I'll tell you what, let me pull over and try and figure this out. So the signs at the beginning of this road say no snowmobile usage, food storage required, and that there is a logging operation ahead. But I have a feeling this means I can pull off anywhere out here I really want to. Wanted, your campfire dead out. Okay. Now let's see what we can find down here. There's somebody already tucked in for the night. By their maintenance yard. It seems an odd place to decide to live. How about over here on the left? That's pretty bumpy. I don't think I can get level there. No. Restricted, day use only, day use only. Custer, Gallatin National Forest. Probably have 1X open. that looks pretty good, huh? I think we're going to park here. Let me work on figuring this out. Alright, so we went down a little bit further. I just turned around and I saw another spot back up here just past where somebody else is camped, and I think that's where we're going to go. Pretty fall colors there. Yeah, so there's somebody there. And I'm going to go right here. I hope I can get fairly level. Alright, and we're going to call this home for the night. Looks pretty good to me.